eBay is not like Amazon going to pull up in a truck that says eBay on it, deliver your postcard. It still goes through the post office. It's time to go over the March 2024 eBay Standard Envelope Analysis. What this is about is every month, you'll see it at the first of the month, I go and I take 100 random paid and shipped mailings, postcards that I sold that I use the eBay Standard Envelope on, out of my paid and shipped on eBay, and I put them into a graph. I look at four things. I look at the origin scan, the destination scan, out for delivery scan, and delivered. And it gives me a percentage. It gives me an idea if there's any problems. I also track the state it's going to just to see. And we're going to get into those numbers in a minute. But eBay was over 90% in 3 of the scans areas that I did. And they were down in the 60s in one of them. And it's common for my area for this. Everybody says, well, scans are scans. I don't track it. They say they lost a postcard. Where's my postcard and stuff? Well, when scans don't happen, it causes us more work. I did a video about this. It's called Where's My Postcard? When the eBay Standard Envelope came out, we used to get tons. It says delivered, but it's not here. That kind of calmed down over time. And I call those requests, and I do track those every month now too. Is request, where's my postcard? And you got to edge them on because it takes a couple days. And we'll get into how it works. But these things can only be scanned at the high-speed sorting machines in the distribution center. If you take an eBay Standard Envelope to the post office and ask them to scan it, they're not going to be able to. Your carrier picking up it in the mailbox isn't going to scan every letter. Now packages, Ground Advantage, Priority, they do. But we pay more. With eBay Standard Envelope, it's automatic. It's done at the high-speed sorting center. It's a little barcode on there to catch. Don't know why it doesn't catch at some of the places, and some of it does. It's been the mystery ever since it started. It's not as robust, but it's better than what we had in the past. For years, I mailed out postcards that sold with a stamp and a label. Now, we got some kind of tracking. And it is cheaper than using a stamp. I used to have to go out and buy $300-400 of stamps starting every month. Rolls of stamps. And stamp the envelopes and stuff. Now it's just print, peel, and stick out of eBay. If you're not using eBay Standard Envelope, your competitors are. Over 90% of the people I polled on my channel said they're using eBay Standard Envelope. And we'll get into that in a second. But one of the things I've gotten in the last few weeks is people wanting to know if I'm leaving eBay Standard Envelope. I said, no way. It's one of the best things with sending offers that eBay's done. There's no way I would go out there and use Ground Advantage and pay $4 to $5. No one's going to buy a $4 to $5 postcard and pay $4 to $5 for shipping just so I can get tracking and not deal with where's my postcard. That's insane. Everybody out there is going to be shipping it for 68 cents and you're shipping it $4 to $5. You just killed your store, ask me. That's what would happen. I'm not worried about if something gets lost or damaged and you use eBay Standard Envelope, you can get your money back. And we'll go over that at the end of this video. There's insurance for that. I got 2 claims. I got one for $17.75 I sold. I'm just waiting to put it in. I refunded the person. We waited. She was very patient. It just never showed up. If it does show up, I told her to keep it. I refunded her. I knew I could get my money back because it was lost or damaged. That's part of the eBay Standard Envelope. So why would people want to leave eBay Standard Envelope when you risk of losing your money? So people need to think this through when they ask me that question. And I've gotten that a lot in emails and stuff. So I'm not for sure where that came from. If they're overabundant of requests coming out and stuff like that, or they're just saturated with customer messages with offers and stuff, and they just don't have any patience for that. I'm not for sure, but there's no way. If they took eBay Standard Envelope away, I'd hate it. But when scans don't occur, we get a lot more work. A lot of people ask, where's my post? Did you mail it? And stuff like that. So we get more work when these scans don't work. That's what the whole premise says. Keep it above 90%, it seems like we don't get as many messages. And you'll see in the graphs my target line, my line where I think it causes more work. Now, to understand how this works, I have this little clip I play in every one of these videos. If you've seen it before, you can skip through it. I have little chapters at the bottom. Or if you want to go right to the eBay Standard Envelope for eBay numbers, it's right down at the bottom. This is a quick video I do every month, and I do it for me, so I thought I would share it. But I'm going to walk through this little clip real quick. in a nutshell how it works, and we'll be right back. Here we go. Here is a slide I'm going to bring up on the big screen. This is just the process in my head on there, not real detailed, layman terms. I don't know how everything works with this. I can speculate from my IT background, my technical background, but there are so many different ways to do it. But in a nutshell, this should explain to anybody how it works. So the first box there is you got eBay and Etsy platform. They're connected across multiple data centers and stuff like that. They're not in the same one. That's why it's got the dotted line there. They're two separate companies, two separate platforms, two separate programs, applications, and stuff like that. They're not shared. But I just put them in a box to make it easier. When someone buys a postcard from either eBay or Etsy, it goes to the post office. The post office then sends data to eBay or Etsy in some way, format, a file, web services, some integration is going to go up and going to come down. Either eBay and Etsy picks it up or directly goes into those platforms if they have shared access. So that's your scans. When it hits the post office, it goes back and forth into the tracking on eBay and Etsy. If everything is successful with the delivery, and then you got a happy customer like at the end here. Even though the scans are not happening, most of the time the customer gets the card and they're happy. That's how it works. A lot more to it probably with machines and stuff like that, but it's in a nutshell how it works. It just goes through, they get a message from the post office, eBay that. I don't think eBay's parsing the information correctly. I'm still pointing my finger toward that more than I do the post office. It's just interesting. I don't know enough about it. I don't understand why it can get 3 of the scans but not 1. Or it doesn't scan at all. It's just interesting. Now I did have Etsy in there because I used to sell on Etsy. And Etsy has a type of letter tracking like this. This isn't just something eBay thought up. This has been around for years. Letter Track used to be one, it still uses it as one of them that uses it. It's made basically for bulk mailing marketing, so people have some kind of reporting on what's being delivered and stuff like that on there, and that's what that barcode does. So it's just, eBay just branded it eBay Standard Envelope. So it's a service provided by the post office. eBay is not like Amazon going to pull up in a truck that says eBay on it, deliver your postcard. It still goes through the post office. It's just the barcode. It's very simple. Another thing came to light just last night while I was working and packing up some stuff. I got an email. I looked at my emails and I had one from John. He sent some other stuff for show and tell, but he noticed in one of my videos when I sell a ship photo, I have to put I always say I have to put a stamp and a label on it because there's no eBay Standard Envelope. And he said, whoa, wait a minute. I just sold a photo and I was able to use eBay Standard Envelope. So I looked into it. Here's his message to me. I downloaded the official list of eBay category paths for Standard Envelope mailings. Sure enough, photographs are included in the headers, patches, decals, and stickers. And look at this right here. It says patches, detail, and stickers, collectible photographic images, photographs. That's the screenshot that he sent me of the category path. Collectibles and art, collectibles, photograph images, photographs. So it looks like maybe photographs have been added to eBay Standard Envelope. I don't sell photographs except for the ship ones. And I'll tell you why I can't use eBay Standard Envelope in a second. But he went on and said, I haven't seen eBay announce anything about mailing photos with eBay Standard Envelope. But I was able to print a label and mail just fine. So he was able to use this category and use eBay Standard Envelope. Has anybody else out there done this or know of this? I don't do a lot of photos, so I didn't know. But thanks, John, for letting me know and letting us know, and we can check it out. I still cannot send my photos of the ship cards because I put it in Photographs Military. It's a different category than the patches, details, stickers, collectibles, photos on there. I found out of trial and error that has worked better than putting in just photographs and stuff. So I will leave it there. I have no problem shipping with the stamp and a label with those photos. I've never lost one yet. I used to ship with stamp and a label for years. So I'll keep it there because they sell out of there better. But if I have a photograph, I'm going to make sure it's in this category if I want to use eBay standard envelope. So check that out. But let's get into the nuts and bolts and meats and potatoes of eBay standard envelope here, numbers. So I track 100 random mailings for March 2024. Here's the chart. A lot of red on that chart. Always, always. So let's go through the columns at the top, and then we'll go through the numbers. How I break it down is I take a spreadsheet and I put 100 mailings. First one is the state. That's where it's going to. Because I want to see if there's a problem with a state. I usually have a problem with Oregon, Washington, those way out west ones. Or the East Coast is usually up a little bit. The label column is my control. I create the label. I know I did it. It's 100%. 100 mailings, 100 labels. Always 100. Next one is the origin scan. That's where if I drop it off at 9 o'clock this morning, tonight it's going to get a scan in Champaign, Illinois at my distribution hub where everything goes. It should. As you'll see, it doesn't most of them. Is get an origin scan. So it hit the first hop. Then it goes through, and while it's moving along, it says destination somewhere in there. A lot of times that doesn't happen. People want to see their stuff moving. And then it gets to a point where it's out for delivery. And I put delivery here just to save header space. And then the all-important delivered scan. This is the one that we get a lot of requests. People hunt all over their house, going to their neighbors. Then they send you a message, and you send them a canned message. And I have it in that video I showed you, where's my postcard, the canned message I use. It takes 2 or 3 days sometimes for it, once it says delivered, to be delivered to the house. It was done at the sorting hub. People just don't get it. I had one lady say, I didn't see the eBay driver drop off my postcard. I'm not here to educate everybody on everything about eBay standard when they buy a postcard from me. So I have a standard little comment, a message that I send to them. And it usually calms them down, and then I throw the ownership on them. If it doesn't show up in a couple days, please let me know. I write the number down sometimes, but most of the time I let them contact me or I don't hear anything at all. The ownership needs to be on them a little bit to learn how this works. Once you educate them to a point. So 69% were scanned. They missed 31 origin scans that I found going through these. So 69%. That is probably one of the lowest ones I've seen since I've been tracking this. But that's normal for my origin center to have real low. And then the destination, I had 91%, -9. Delivery, out for delivery, 93, they missed 7. How can you miss 69 on origin scan and not miss them down the road? If there was something wrong with the label, it would. But there's nothing wrong with my labels. Delivered, 90, they missed 10 of the all-important delivered scan. That's an important one. Same with the origin, it's moving. And then 5 days from there. But down underneath there, I have a few things I've been tracking. I had 6 of these postcards that were mailed in March, had no scans at all. Had no refunds in March. But I had one request, where's my postcard? I had to send a little message out to the person and educate them. Not too bad. I didn't send any claims this month, but I have 2 waiting for this month. I think it's April 7th and the 19th I can send them out, because once you do a claim, you have to put it in. You can't put it in before 30 days, and you have to put it in for 90. And then then there's a little form in that video I'll show you here in a second that does that. And then missed pickups I've been putting on there, because we get a lot of temps coming through on Saturdays and stuff for the post office, where I put a pickup up for mail. Dana usually never miss, but she's not here as often. And I had 0 for this month. Last month I think I had 1 that they missed. I went to the mailbox and my cards were still in there from the day before. I wasn't really worried about it, because eBay standard envelope does not require an acceptance scan like a package. You're not going to bring this to the counter, or when they pick it up they're not going to scan it. It's going to be scanned at the distribution hub. So how can you get an acceptance scan? It just needs to scan somewhere through the route, and then eBay will chew those numbers up in their system and show that. But those are the numbers for eBay on the chart. Now I do keep a running line chart for the year. And let's take a look at that. The dotted line here is the 90% level. Anything below that, I feel it causes us more work. They should be at 100%. These are machines. Everything's done, should be fine, you ask me. That's the goal. But I put it at 90%, because when it falls below that, I feel I get a little more work. But look at the line for blue. That's the origin scan. it's got a downtrend going on. The other ones seem to be above 90% this year, but the origin, my origin, how do I fix that? I don't. It's out of my control, but it's just something I want to know in case something comes up or I see that. But that's going down. That's not good. Then here's the running chart for the post office. Back in January, there was an ice storm and stuff like that, weather. So they hit 6 days average for me. But then February, March, they stayed at 5. Last year, I think the average was 5. So they've been hitting 5 days from the time I put it in the mailbox, they pick it up to deliver to the customer. It says, from the scans that I see on eBay, it's 5 days. So it's not too bad. Is there issues with eBay standard envelope? Yes. But it's one of the best things they've done, in my opinion, for postcard sellers that used to do stamp and a label. It's not good for package people coming down because they're used to that robust tracking and all that stuff. This is from the bottom up, from stamps and labels to print, peel, and stick, not buying stamps. I only pay for postage now when I sell it. I used to have to front, $300 and some every month or whatever. I don't have to do that. If it sells, I got the 68 cents in the price, I print it out. And it's got a little bit of tracking. As you see, it does work somewhat. But there's still work they need to do on that. Not for sure the priority of it, but I know a lot of sports cards and trade card people, they use it. So over 90% of the people that I polled use eBay standard envelopes. So if you're not using it, your competitors are. Another thing with eBay standard envelope is make sure you check this video out. Get your money back. One year I got like $70 back. I forgot what I got last year, $30, whatever. I don't get a lot of refunds. I don't get a lot of lost stuff. I don't have that. It's not so low to me. It's not my daily routine. But I treat every transaction like that is a reverse transaction to me, and it's treated individually because each one has different circumstances. I just don't have a blanket, I'm not going to refund, I'm not going to do this. You can't do that in my eyes because each one's a little different. But get your money back. I walk through the claim process. So if you have a lost or damaged card and you ship that with eBay standard envelope, you can have a possibility to get your money back. I've never had a claim not approved so far. But remember, each item in an order has to be under $20 and under, and the whole order can't be over $50 to be able to use the eBay standard envelope. Go to eBay Help and type in eBay standard envelope, and it'll tell that, or you can look through these videos. It'll help you a little bit. Not a lot's changed since I've done those videos, but I do walk through the claim process. I'm going to continue to track this the rest of the year. I've been doing it last year and the year before when it started, but I'm going to continue because it's interesting just to see processes working, processes breaking, and where it puts them. I like data-driven decisions, not just what I feel. I want some data behind it to show me, is it working or not working? Just because I had 3 lost or damaged in March doesn't mean it's not working for the whole year. You got to put it in perspective. So I'll continue to track this. If you got any comments about eBay standard envelope, stick it down at the bottom. Want me to do any polls to ask people about eBay standard envelope? Let me know. I'm looking for polls to fill out the rest of the year. So if you got any questions, you want me to poll the viewers, got close to 2,700 viewers now. We can get a good sampling rate to help answer your questions. I'm going to show you a little bit of fish here, like I normally do. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.